basketball, that's the moment I was like, oh, okay, I got your respect now. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that I couldn't shoot. It's just the fact that, like, I remember being at the three-point line a lot, and I'm like, I'm not a three-point shooter. Why guys guard me, denying me the three-point line? Let me shoot it. But the thing is, they didn't want me to touch the ball, because when I touched the ball, either I was going to score or I was going to create the opportunity for one of my teammates. So that's when I knew that the respect was there. And like you said, when you get to the point, man, where you like, I can do anything out on this floor, it's no stopping you, man. Once they get up here, it's no stopping.
No stopping. Like, that was, CP was my guy, because that was like my road dog from coming out and out of college. Like, he took me under his wing from the jump, and I'm forever grateful for that, because he showed me how to work. He showed me like the pressure on being, elite every night. And like, I got to chase that for like 3-4 years until we finally met up in the playoff series, and they beat us. And like, I'm still like, dang, I was right there, almost got him. So like, there's always like that. I love that part about the NBA and like the fraternity. Like, there's respect, even though it's competition and it could be bad blood at times, and just the ebbs and flows of what that is on the court. But at the end of the day, I'm sure like once it's all said and done, you're gonna look back and appreciate those people that you can kind of put a face to, the success, which is dope.
We went to Six Flags.
Yeah, it was
We went to Six Flags before the draft and
By the way,
pinching each other.
By the way,
North Carolina?
Oh,
we went there. CP's wedding.
while I was giving my answer last,
Kevin Hart.
Ayesha was right. She wrote that on the paper. Flip the state.
He wasn't listening to me.
She had to write it to me.
Wait, can we put them on Bluetooth though so we can hear better?
You saw it.
Or is it gonna reverb? Yeah. I don't think it's gonna work though. It's fine.
Yo, Ayesha, have you guys received worse advice than the advice that I gave at Mia?
Wait, I'm done.
Might be the best advice you guys have probably. It's why you guys are where you are.
Wait, I can't remember verbatim.
You want to tell the people what I told you?
Do you remember verbatim what it was? Yes.
The spirit of it was.
The spirit.
The
spirit of it was. In your relationship, just make sure you got each other.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I was like, maybe that came a little later.
maybe that was
That
the
was
next
next
year.
chapter. I was trying to help.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that sounds like actual good advice. I didn't give you guys that first.
It was interesting.
Hold on.
Oh, nice.
Everybody go to pot.
Nice.
Y'all see it?
Ah.
Aroma.
Okay.
Are you?
Yo, Steph, I need to see
Are you
your
guys?
work. Show
You
me
guys
some.
are in LA right now, or?
In LA, yeah. Yeah, we moved from Miami, so we're here full time now.
That is right.
Yeah.
Nice. They moved there full time now. Yep.
We're trying to snatch your neighbors. We're trying to
I
get Dwyane
know.
Wade down here. Come
I
back
feel like
to
they're. I feel like it's gonna happen.
You want to see? All right. So hold on one second. Sorry to interrupt. D-Wade, you said you want to see my work, so I got about a minute left on the fillets. And
We
then
like a good medium rare.
Then I moved over here and I'm looking at these scallops. I just generously salted these fine scallops right here. I got some ghee in this pan that's melting. That's gonna be the coating on the pan or the.
Tell them why you're
That's
using.
fancy.
I'm using ghee
You
because
gotta explain to the people what ghee is.
the milk solids are removed, so it's not like butter. It's a little different. I wrote that one down.
It's clarified butter, so it won't burn. We'll see how it. We'll see how it works.
Hey, for all the men out there that's watching this, y'all see how my wife get excited every time Steph talk about what he cooking? How about you cheer me on the same way? I need a little pump up over here.
And this is why I gave you guys bad advice all those years ago, and you shouldn't have listened to me. I'm glad you didn't listen to me. All right,
Silly.
okay, Bree.
It's our job tonight to drink the wine. And we're doing a great job at that.
You check.
That's all we need to do. Meat check.
This is just like in the arena. I'm drinking, he's doing his thing.
Well, it's getting serious over there. When you get real close to the stove, you gotta look at it real. It's getting serious.
I had to turn it down.
Hey, don't worry, I just got my steak rejected. It ain't ready yet. I was about to take it out. I was just about to take it out. She said,
It's
"Nah."
not ready.
Hey, Steph, you in the listen, you gotta do the
Taste test.
You gotta
We're
taste
tasting the food on camera.
Wait, let me see.
I gotta listen. This is my sauce. This is
We
my
ain't
sauce.
properly
Yeah, we didn't
we didn't
cheers.
properly do this
No.
right.
Oh,
yeah.
Y'all sending y'all way to the fam. Appreciate it. That's it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Always. Much love. I gotta add a little bit more salt in my sauce today.
Tasting as you go. That's a major key.
Which
6:30.
Yep.
All right.
Wait, watch your legs. It's gonna burn yourself.
We got big salt. We got
So right here,
Put it back on there.
Did you use
I've
all
been
of
cutting the
these?
brush. I've been cooking the Brussels sprouts for about 15 minutes now, and for the last 5 minutes, I'm gonna add a little. I wrote it down. Oh yeah, it's a little maple syrup with some liquid. What is that word?
Aminos.
Some liquid aminos.
It's a soy. It's the soy sauce.
It's just a little sauce. You can't see it, but yeah. I'm gonna just drizzle those over top of the.
Oh, is that a drizzle? Is it a drizzle?
So he said he's dripping.
You're letting the heat out the oven. You gotta take that down.
Look good now.
All right.
Good
Okay.
now.
You want to add some more of these seasonings there? You know I like it spicy.
Give me that red pepper.
I'm trying not to help you.
Listen, all praise to Mario Chalmers. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do this. Him order me around.
I'm sweating. Good gracious.
I know. I wasn't gonna call him out, but he has like sweat
No.
dripping down.
Hello. It's been 30 minutes?
Beautiful. Beautiful. Look at you.
A little Creole. Look, sprinkle it. Like E40.
Wait, that was great.
Little nod to the.
No, it's fine.
to the gay area.
Look at you.
A little smoked paprika.
Let me give you some parsley.
Some more garlic.
Hey, so
Let's
how
see.
y'all keeping yourselves entertained,
Yeah.
like with the family, like game nights? I've seen some of the videos. I know y'all have fun. I just want to hear from y'all, like what's the philosophy on how to have fun at the Dwyane Wade Wade house?
So I think we did too much too soon.
You tapped that idea.
So we started off strong, man. Like every night we were playing together. We would play like different kind of like heads up together, different card games together. And we did everything. We played basketball games together. And about 2 weeks in, we were looking at each other like,
Anybody got anything else?
what's next? So, I mean, the thing is, man, the joy of having a 17-month-old in the house. Every day she's giving us
Absolutely.
something. She's comedy. Having a preteen in the house, Daya having a 12-year-old in the house, that's a whole different kind of beat. So our kids keep us entertained enough, man. So we ain't over here doing eyes closed Rubik's Cube type thing. Like,
I'm
we ain't
working
that
on the
time
eyes
to, like,
closed. I got
close our
all the
eyes.
algorithms
How
up
you do
here.
that?
I'm right there on the being able to do it with my eyes closed. Give me about another week.
All your heat.
All right, what kind of shows y'all watching?
Yeah, there you go.
I know we all Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime. Let's talk about that because we both I know we all got a production company, so let's talk about the shows you guys watch.
You said let's talk about what, my fault? Oh,
What shows y'all watch?
we are the worst when it comes to committing to one show.
It's so bad.
It's so bad. Like we
so
float
bad.
around, we little butterflies floating around. Like, new show.
Wait,
Yeah, I heard about that one.
Oh yes, that's on the list. So I've been trying to get him to start things that we haven't finished what we started already. I'm like, but we can multitask. It's fine. I almost want to just start watching it on my own.
Like, there's certain shows we commit to watching together.
No.
And if one of us watches without the other.
Put the scallops back in the pan.
It's a wrap.
Squeeze the lemon.
Steph has his own production company and
Yeah. So wait, so what kind of things are you guys trying to create?
So-
like, with the production companies and stuff.
So,
What kind of content?
What kind of content are we trying to create within our production companies? So I actually have a new production company that I haven't quite announced yet.
I'm sure you could guess the name though.
But my pillars are food, family, faith, and female empowerment. So like they fall in those 4 F's. I'm usually like ready to wrap my arms around it. So and then Stephen, I'll let you talk to yours.
So we have an exclusive. We have
You
an
said what?
exclusive here on the Wind Down. That you we have an exclusive
Yeah,
here on the
pretty
Wind
much.
Down.
what is it?
Ayesha's production company.
Oh, you just broke that?
Oh wait, and now you're frozen. You're frozen. Oh no. It's gonna come back. Uh-oh. Oh, here we go. Yeah, you literally broke the internet. Here we go. Okay.
Talk to me. No, not yet.
Like, you want to show me the pasta or should
I gotta still do my pasta. Put my pasta in. I gotta put my pasta in. I gotta still do my pasta. Yeah.
Because I have to be gluten-free, dairy-free.
Oh wait, no sound.
No sound. Sound is in and out. Uh-oh.
No sound from both sides. Or no sound from you guys' side.
It's like, no sound, help them. Oh, we can't hear the curries.
You might gotta go up.
Can
We're bringing back in.
can you look, make sure we get them back in? Okay, let's see. Gotta get them back in.
Can y'all? Okay, would y'all hear us loud and clear?
Yeah, I think it's just the curries.
We might have got. Oh, we got our Wi-Fi type. Talk to me nice. Hey, listen. Once again, everybody out there, it is Friday evening. Okay, Mia. It is Friday evening, and you guys, it's all about drinking tonight, man. So everybody, listen, don't be shy. Let's drink wine. It's not going to stop when this ends. We're going to continue to drink. Let's enjoy our Friday going into our Saturday now. All right, so everybody, tell me what you guys are drinking. Tell everybody what y'all drinking out there.
Uh-oh. Oh, there's, okay, there we go. Wait, hold on. You guys want that brie on?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Y'all hear the curries over there? Everybody thumbs up.
Hey, what's
We're
that?
good.
Hey! I ain't told nobody something. Get my Teddy Riley going on, man. Now what happened to my scallops?
Yeah, so what happened to them scallops during the break?
Oh my god.
We almost there.
We're there.
Yo,
We're there.
yo. All
right, so-
so look, I got another question for you. We're similar. While we're similar in this. Talk about like your mindset at the time when you signed with Under Armour, because at the time it wasn't obviously a popular choice. I'm similar because I signed with Li-Ning, that it wasn't a popular choice. But talk about that and all the kids out there to understand that it's way more than one or two brands.
That's a great question because
It's a good one.
coming into the league, I've been with the other guys for the longest, and at the time, it was an opportunity to be entrepreneurial in mindset and to have a seat at the table of actually growing like a meaningful business. And at the time, UA didn't really have. We had like Brandon Jennings, DeAndre Jordan, Kent Bazemore, small roster, but not really a substantial business by any stretch, and never had a true signature athlete that was actually. Being able to actually, infuse some life into the business and some juice and energy. And so I love that opportunity to do something that was going to be hard work. It was going to be on my shoulders to go out and perform, obviously, and kind of carry the weight of that. And I've loved every minute of it. It's been a lot of ups and downs. It's been a lot of crazy learning lessons. I've had some dud shoes. I've had some fire shoes. Like, I embrace it all. So, whenever basketball is back, continue that effort. And you always got to evolve, right? Like, that's the biggest thing about our careers. Like, we are who we are, and we come to the gym with the same mentality. We're trying to win. But it's all kind of packaged differently every year, depending on what your situation is, and you can embrace that. And so I love helping telling that story every single year, and then allowing myself and UA and the partnership that we had to bring that to life. So it was a good decision at the time, not just business wise, but it was a great learning experience. It's been for the last 7 years. So same thing I know for you.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, you hit all the points. For me, man, I was in a different. I think I was in a different place. I was 30 years old, and I was looking at the game differently. I was looking at, my overall life differently at the time. And we always hear this word, right? As athletes, they throw around this word legacy all the time. And I ain't even lie to you. For a long time, I didn't even know what legacy was. I took a stab at what I thought it was, but I really didn't know what it was. So when I set out and thought about, kind of this move that I was, the space I was in as a 30-year-old athlete in the NBA, the conversations that you have with other brands is they want to go like 2-3 years because, athletes, once they get to 30, they start.
Yeah, they know.
Right? So they throw you to the side.
And who's next?
Yeah, who's next? And you know what? And I respect it's business, so you got to respect that, and you can't be sensitive to it, right, from that standpoint. So I think I just set out to look and see what was best for my family and myself. And for us, it was about, we both was in this process of building something and really having real equity and ownership in it. And, we always talked about giving others a platform or raising others up with you or bringing others up along. So for me, when I got opportunity to sign with Li-Ning and have my own brand with them, my whole mission was to build something so great that, it's another kid in the inner city of Chicago right now that may be 5 years old or 7 years old that one day can see what I did and understand that his power, understand his reach, and understand that, the world is bigger than what you just see out your front window or your back window. So I was a little nervous at first because it was kind of uncharted territories for myself, but it ended up being one of the smartest decisions business-wise that I made so far, of putting my family in a situation of legacy and lifelong opportunity to grow and build something.
Absolutely, man. It takes a lot to take that risk, right? There's risk associated with it, and the security of the big brands and all that. Like they do amazing stuff, and you can't argue. Like at one point in time, in both of our careers, it made sense. But when you get to a certain point, you can pivot and take that ownership and equity. That's what everybody should be looking for. Those type of opportunities.
Y'all talk about from a business standpoint, the business of basketball. And deal structure and thinking outside the box in terms of your business and how you
Yeah.
see yourself, and betting on yourself and what that looks like and what it can look like. I know I was watching the doc about MJ and
Yep.
you know, Scotty's deal, and I literally couldn't sleep after watching it because I saw myself. I saw all the terrible decisions I made out of necessity in the moment and not thinking bigger picture.
Yeah.
And because best believe, even when you can't see your greatness, somebody else can, and they're banking on you not having that self-esteem and having that self-worth. So talk about what is one great piece of business advice that you guys have gotten that can influence this next generation? As Dee says, you know, there's a 5 or a 7-year-old out there on this IG live. What can you
I'm
say?
just talking about out there, period. It's parents are here that have kids out there.
I think, I mean, that's a great point, and everybody's story is different. You got to realize that. So, like, being real with yourself and where you're at, knowing, like, you talk about Scotty's example, like, there were a lot of life circumstances that, I don't think they talked about it a lot, but there are a lot of things in his past that, you know, came through with the decision that he made. And that's all well and good. And like you say, like, you would wish that he could have had made a different decision, looked out for himself a little bit, or bet on himself and got a better return. But the biggest thing that somebody told me was obviously be aware, be smart, be educated. But once you make a decision, like, you got to live with it and go and make the most of it. And so it's always easy to count other people's money, to look across the line and say,
how many people been in your pocket?
exactly.
How much that?
What's in your wallet?
I'd like to know.
and figure out exactly, you know, you can always say you could be better, but you know, you want to be as educated as you can when you're making decisions like that. Look out and realize your leverage and your worth in those type of conversations, and do your best to protect yourself through that. And that was like, even for my first contract, and it's kind of been talked about too, like, underpaid for 3 years, whatever it was. Like, I told myself when I put that ink on the paper, like, and especially in this industry, in this business, you can't ever look across and just compare yourself and think that that's the only thing that matters. At the end of the day, if I can take care of my family and whatnot, like, it sounds good, but that was really my thought process. Like, I'm gonna be all right. Let's figure this out. And so for, you know, anybody who's watching, you're gonna have a lot of different decisions to make, and you're gonna be trying to compare yourself to the next person beside you, or look at models like Dwyane Wade was talking about. You have to be real with yourself and know where you're at. Have big dreams and visions, but make sure people that are around you are telling it to you straight too. I threw a lot out there just now, but that was
Perfect.
You know, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, what do I have? I have a whole freaking line. Good.
How long do you think
I got a whole lot. I got a whole lot to say. No, just joking. But I can't. I would say,
Listen, girl, we talked about this.
I would say that no matter how nice you are in your personal life and the way that you speak to people and you carry yourself and you go about things, when it comes to business, a part of you, when it comes to the fundamentals, has to be regimented and a little bit ruthless, or else people are going to take advantage of you. Bottom line. So, like, you can't have the same. You got to step outside of yourself a little bit and really read between the lines when it comes to your business. And ruthless doesn't mean being an asshole. It just means standing up for yourself at the end of the day. And then I would say.
Because you know what feels like ruthless to someone else is you creating boundaries.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like, it's okay to
That's all it
actually
is.
value yourself as well. Like, it's fine. It's not, you're not arrogant. You're valuing yourself. And
You're
I
not
think
brand new.
that's okay.
It's just called boundaries.
Exactly. And for me, I think at a certain point, I was so gracious and had so much gratitude and thanks for everything that I was doing. And I didn't want to seem, you know, so over the top and like I had an air to myself. So I was the yes woman. And it took a lot of time, many years, for me to realize, like, it's fine to say no. And I'm going to start saying no a lot, and it's going to become my favorite word. So
Well, they want you to be grateful for crumbs, right?
Right. Yeah.
Hello.
Woo!
Finish.
Woo!
That looks great. He's
Everybody
plating
out there?
on top of the sink.
Hey, Steph, come and look at this masterpiece right here.
There is no American.
Yum!
sauce, no-
I love that we
and there was
finished
no
at the
sugar.
same time. Come on, come on.
Wait.
That looks great.
I'm over here plating.
That's perfect. That's perfect. You want more? Okay.
You let it fall off to the side.
Okay. All right.
You let it fall off to the side.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, you plated it.
Oh, you-
The sky's about to fall off the plate, but we got the fillet, we got the
Hold
Brussels
on,
sprouts.
let me get it.
My baby over here sweating like bean wine and
Hey, listen.
sir.
I ain't sweated this much since I ran around out here in that game went on y'all, Steph.
Yo!
What did you say?
Hey, I'm standing underneath the rim like this, like
Hey, did you think you had a chance?
I was right underneath the basket. I saw it online the whole time. That's why I didn't move, and I didn't have the nerve to catch it out the rim. I should have ran over and handed it to you.
Yo, how funny would that have been if you would have ran chasing me to give me the ball?
Yeah, I hear it. Dwayne. Get your ass out of here, man.
This is so dope.
Go ahead, give me.
I'm gonna sprinkle it. There you go, E40.
You know, everybody.
Talk,
What's
babe.
that?
Talk, babe.
Would you put a little?
Little
So
time.
look, we add a little time on that, and a little cheese. You know.
It's so high.
Listen, it's for the
That's
people.
like a high arcing shot. Okay.
It's for the people.
The people don't have to clean this
It's
up.
for the people.
Oh, are we eating right now too? We're eating
We
right
gotta
now.
taste it.
Making everybody mad.
And he knows I can't do dairy, but
He put cheese on it.
he put cheese on it. But it's okay.
Just a little bit.
You're just gonna
And I'm
give him
have
some
a little bit
presents.
of farts.
You're gonna give him a gift tonight.
My little bit of farts is gonna be super romantic.
Wait, hold on. Take a drink of wine.
Can we back it up? Back it up a little.
Wait, yours done, right?
So yeah, hold on. I got
Can you tilt it?
I'm gonna do this right here. So
Oh, I'm
So they
excited.
can see. So they could each, everyone
There
can
we
see
go.
our first bites. Here we go.
right here,
Go right
a nice
turn
medium
this up.
steak.
Delicious.
Doing good, babe.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Okay.
I can smell it. I don't even need to taste it. I know
Babe, you
it's
did a great job.
Put it this way. I don't know if I've ever been more defeated in my life because I actually was nervous. I got to the end. I played the food, but I've been tasting her food for so long. I know what that tastes like. And I was hoping in my mind that that was what it was gonna taste like.
Really good.
All right.
You
Listen.
did a great job.
I did all right though. I
I'm
just
just
know what
saying, though.
you set the bar so high.
Ice, can we get on your cooking show? Can we come on and you know what I'm saying? Bye bye. What's up?
Heck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Babe, this is almost clear taco.
This is
I'm gonna give it
good.
a 9.
Hey, look, Steph. That's the question I have for you too. What did you give Aaron Gordon on that last dime? You sweating? I feel like Whitney Houston in concert right now. What did you give Aaron Gordon on that last dunk?
Hey,
This is a great time to not tell the truth, Steph.
It's a great time to tell it. Everyone has their own opinions. What was your opinion of the last dunk that Aaron Gordon did?
Aaron should have won, man.
Wait, but from that dunk or period?
That dunk was not his best, but he should have won. He had the better body of work. So I understand the dilemma. I just know Aaron Gordon should have won.
Right. But we talking about the last dunk. Would you have gave him a 9? Would you gave him a 10? Because up until that point, I gave Aaron Gordon a 10 every time.
Honestly, I would have been biased, and I would have said, yeah, he got a 10. I got to make sure he wins.
Great answer. Great answer. So listen, I was biased as well.
Yeah, that's okay.
Because I gave Derrick Jones Jr. a 9 on his first dunk when he jumped over Bam.
Right.
I'm all about it. If you're going to do it, you got to clear him. That's
Right. You got a little
clear him, so I gave him a 9. Yeah.
That's a tough. Hey, the NBA called me when I'm retired and asked me to do a dunk contest, and your face gonna pop in my head. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yo, you know how many? Listen, I get so many people that comment on everything I do and be like, I give that a 9 out of 10. And I'm like, do y'all know that a 9 out of 10, I'll take that any day.
Absolutely.
The sweat, no, the sweat.
Absolutely. I'll take it any day of the week, man.
No, that's funny because you got 9 out of 10. I got look at Curry, man, so inspirational. We just doing it out here, you know. I tell you what.
Babe, was it really good?
It really is good, man.
All right, listen, hey, yo, so I don't know if you're going to say it or if you believe it, but what do you feel about the conversation that people say that you changed the game of basketball? Like, it's only a few different people that come along and you like, that guy right there changed the way that we look at basketball. How do you feel when people say that about you?
At first, I was uncomfortable with it because, like, you know, anytime you get that, like, outlandish praise for doing something legendary and you still in the fight, like, it doesn't do anything for me. So I kind of, like, kept it at bay. But now I kind of sit and think about it, and, you know, 11 years in, looking at some of the guys that are coming into the league and how the game has changed in terms of, you know, just how many threes are going up and that being a part of, you know, anybody who sets foot on the floor, on the NBA floor now should have that in their arsenal in some way, shape, or form. Like, it is pretty flattering. And, you know, I appreciate the fact that I didn't come in trying to do it. Like, I literally was just being myself, and whatever I saw, whatever I worked on, I was going to go out there and do. And just having the, I'll call it the stubbornness to think that I could do it. You know what I mean? Like, it was just.
I feel like you were just excited to be there.
I had to play. And so, like, yeah, it's just wild to think about, man. I embrace it. I love it. I know that I have changed it in terms of, you know, how younger kids now see the game of basketball and what they work on at a younger age. And we'll see how it continues to play out with the new talent that's coming into the league. So,
Yo, you know what I love? I love when they show Steve Kerr when you're taking a shot.
oh yeah,
I love when he like, you know, he looking at like, Steph, no, and then you make it. He like, what?
we were still getting to know each other at that point. That was like 3 months in.
I love that, man. I love it.
Even 5 years later, he's still making that look.
So when you first came in the league, for real, you know, Warrior fans, you know, who were there with the Run TMC era. I know when I first saw Timmy Hardaway walking, just randomly ran into Tim Hardaway in the Miami arena, and I lost my shit. I was like, oh my God, Run TMC, oh my God, young Chris Mullin. It was the best thing ever. The next time I went to go see the Warriors was with you guys and your OGs, BD and Matty Barnes.
Yep.
And,
Stack Jack.
You're my UCLA Bruin guys, my little bros. But talk to us about the importance of OGs.
Facts.
I mean, it's everything, because I know, I guess kind of like what the question you just asked about changing the game, but like I know how many people have laid the foundation for what the NBA is now, and the ability for us to make the livings that we do now is because of the work that they put in and advancing the game and keeping basketball front and center and culture. And in that respect, so like I got nothing but respect and just praise for anybody. The fraternity it's not that big if you think about it in terms of the grand scheme of life and how many people put on the NBA jersey and made a name for themselves. So the craziest thing is now is like I know a lot of them are dealing with like the wave of social media and anything they say and how they judge and view today's game is going to catch headlines, and sometimes they just be wilding out just talking. But for the most part, like a lot of them respect how we've carried the torch, and I hope to do that. I know a lot of guys in the league today can't wait to be in that position where they look back at the work that they did and say, oh, these kids out here, you know, because of what we did in our careers, they get to hoop and take care of their families and grow the game. So it's pretty crazy to think about.
That was one of my biggest fears, is that when D signed on for his TNT show, that he would become an old hater.
Hey, that's real talk though, because you got to be truthful and honest. You got to give an opinion.
Yeah, I was actually afraid of that. Like I never wanted to leave the game and become that guy that talks about, you know, all the players that's playing the game. You know what I mean? And especially the further and further away you get from the game, the more and more the game changed and it's different than what you remember. And we all have this mentality that, oh, I would have did it this way, or I wouldn't have done that. So I never wanted to I don't want to, not never, because this is going to go on for a while. I don't want to lose myself in the process of being on TV and talking about the game of basketball I love. You know what I mean?
I still want to be able to have sex with him. There's nothing more unsexy than an old ass hater.
No, that.
Speaking of sex,
They just got a different swag about them.
speaking of sex, can we talk about that photo that you guys posted viral? Like the sexy photo. You know when you was holding her up like this.
Let's just put it
Can we
this way,
talk about
bro.
that? What inspired that?
We'll talk about having faith and moving the culture forward, and that you can and those two things can live together. Talk about it. Talk about it.
Yes, absolutely.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
Absolutely. Actually, I would love to talk about that because I feel like that is the biggest misconception with us being Christians, is that we can't have fun in our marriage and that we're not feisty and lovely and all of the ludicrous songs. And that's annoying, and it's not the case at all. For us, our faith is about our personal relationship with God and making sure that we love everybody around us without judgment. That is not our job. We're never trying to pass judgment on people. We're just trying to love the Lord, get it popping, and drink wine.
So it's possible to love Jesus and get it popping too.
Yes.
All I was doing was trying to get hand rehab in on All-Star Weekend. That's what I was just trying to.
Okay.
Listen.
All right, listen, we're going to try to bring the Currys back in. Unfortunately, Instagram didn't give me the same love that they gave me last week when they let me go on for an hour and a half, because we got some more questions for the Currys.
Because when you talk about faith in the culture, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it, man.
Listen, that's that good wine that's making her dance around like that.
I'm on that Breon.
Listen, I'm going to say one thing about Breon. That's that Breon. We're going to start calling this the Breon. That's that Breon right there that's making her do that. AKA wine. So we're going to try to bring the Currys back in. It's very important for the world and for the culture for sure. So we pick back up.
Here we go.
IG didn't want us to be great.
They want us
They want us to be great.
Chicago that fucked up my triple double. He didn't want me to do that.
Shots fired.
Yo, Ayesha, I got a question for you. So when you go out and you're doing media for, all the things that you are doing, maybe the first 3 questions come out is about Steph Curry. And I'm asking this question because of this one right here.
Wait, does that happens to you?
Oh,
Talk about that though.
20
That's crazy.
years in the game.
Well, if that happens to her, I feel like I can't complain.
No, they're like, you've got a cure for cancer, you say. But
Yes.
let's talk about the big 3. And I'm like, what? I have a whole, okay.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit though.
That one's tough, because when you're working so hard, it took me a long time to just be at peace with it and realize, you know what, it's gonna happen. It's gonna keep happening whether I want it to or not. And I honestly started realizing, as much as I was complaining about it, because I was, that I didn't want him to feel it was because I wasn't proud to be his wife, or wasn't happy that I was his wife. And I started realizing, hey, you know what, it could come across that way. So I need you to know that I'm so proud and happy and honored to be your wife, and I love you and all of these things. But at the same time, when as a woman, when you're doing all of the things that you're supposed to do as a wife, and also creating a career for yourself or working hard outside of your home, it's a little frustrating.
Yeah. Well, I was he does media after practice. He does media
Every
before the
day.
game, after
Every
the game,
day.
every day. So if he didn't answer your questions, that's not my problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I had a full ass life before him. and I'm going to have a full ass life with him. So give me my time. And unless you're going to give me the same time during his media time, so, you know what I mean? Hello, beat reporters. Don't hijack my press tours. Ask me about Dwyane and LeBron and Chris Bosh. Like, come on, give me that same respect. But it's also really interesting because you guys are very much a team, you know what I mean? And you are exactly how you appear to be. So have you ever noticed that you get the questions about balance? How do you balance it all, right? But you're a team. And Steph never gets the questions about balancing because the expectation is he doesn't have to. That's your job to balance.
That's very true.
She gets that.
I told
she
him
was talking about that.
every
Even
time.
asking him.
No, even from a parenting standpoint, like I could show up with my kids to the game and it's like I'm the best dad. That's a great part of like your parenthood and experiences, creating experiences for your kids. And I love those moments. But the reaction is that that's some like grand gesture type of situation versus she walked in with the kids to the game, they took a picture, they'd be like, that's what she's supposed to be doing, like the whole vibe. And so there's a weird dichotomy when it comes to that. And like, yeah.
It's like people don't realize that this is a partnership. Like we're in this together. We're both trying to balance it all.
But like
he's tired just as much as we're tired, and vice versa.
Yeah.
For different reasons. I mean, you got to get it done. That's the most. I think the one thing we've noticed is the ebbs and flows of the schedule, the busyness of life. And as you go through, like we have hard times with it at times because there's so many demands, and like it's not. We know we're doing amazing things and we're blessed, so we always keep it in perspective. But it's real in terms of like raising 3 kids that look to you for everything, and you want to be there, you want to provide, you want to continue to be great at the talents that God's given us in our respective fields, and yes, there's a lot of demands. You got to be together. You got to be in unison with how you approach it, and the stuff that you can't control too, that's coming at you nonstop, 24/7. So,
how did you guys handle injury this year?
I loved it actually. I mean, to be honest, it was a weird. I was coming into the season like I'm ready to go, like prove all these people wrong, talking about it's our rebuild year and all that. And in 4 games, it got taken away. So I had to change. Either I was gonna be depressed and be miserable, and not want to be around anybody, even my family, just because basketball was taken away, or you lean into it and know that this story is only getting started in terms of what these next years are going to be like.
Yeah, it's made you a better person.
Yeah, it's given me a greater perspective on, how amazing basketball is and how much fun I have playing the game, even through the crazy grinds of playoffs, series and championship runs and all that. I absolutely love it, so there's no question about that. But like the other things in life and being, making up for lost time with the kids was amazing. Leaning into the off-court stuff a little bit so I can set the foundation for all the things we talked about earlier about, how amazing those opportunities are. And I'm going to be back next year ready to go. So that's when I say I loved it. I got to lean into some other stuff because basketball was taken away.
Yeah.
100%. Listen, we don't want to keep you guys all day. First of all, I want to say everybody out there, Dwyane Curry, make sure that you guys go out there and support. Obviously, D-Wade sellers, go out there and support. I got one question left for Steph, and this is for the basketball world. Miami Heat versus Golden State. Our big 3 era versus y'all. Who wins?
Come on, man. Come on,
I know
man.
we'll win, right? It's crazy.
Come on, man.
Let's talk about it real quick before we go off air.
I'm going to see it. We might have to get this on 2K. We will play this thing out.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Hey, no, give me a blowout. I can't play. I'm terrible. But I would say one thing, and I hate the conversations that we try to compare from generations and generations because you're never going to come with an answer, right? It's just filler words that everyone uses to fill airways. But I think we all have those moments where you see great teams and you see great individual players, and you be like, damn, I would love to have had a moment to play against them in my prime. So I'll just say that to say that when you guys, shortly after the Big 3 era and we kind of had the NBA, you guys came and took it over, and I was like, damn, I would love to play them right now. That'll be it. Eastern Conference versus Western Conference. Whoa!
Hey, in an alternate universe, that would have been amazing, bro. But how many points would you have averaged like in 1975?
Who was playing back then?
I'm
getting, listen, Steph, I'm getting buckets in every era.
exactly, but
I'm getting buckets in every era. I can play tough. I can play the tough game, or I can play the no defense game. Whatever you want. I can go to the hole and get up and pick myself up, or I can play no defense. Whatever y'all want. I'm out there getting buckets.
Absolutely.
I can't shoot from half court, but I'll find a way to put that ball in the basket.
I would have sucked because ain't no 3-point line.
Yo, have you guys watched the Jordan doc, The Last Dance?
Yeah, we're with everybody else. 2 episodes in. I hate that they slow rolling it, but it's something. I'm can't wait for Sunday. So, yeah. I heard what you said about what Jordan meant and being in Chicago, and giving you a vision of like what you could accomplish with the game of basketball. Like that to me, like we know how just how dope of a legacy MJ's got, but like hearing that from you. And put it into real terms. You said it earlier, like what a 5 or 7-year-old right now is thinking about watching the game, and like that's so crazy to me. And the fact that you had the high level of career that you had, and have now created that for other people. Like I fall in love with those stories so much because like we're talking about sports and like a game of basketball doing that for a kid. Like that's crazy to me.
Yeah, I was telling my wife while we were watching. Michael Jordan came into the NBA at 84, and the documentary was taking place around 97, 98. I told my wife, I said, you're watching my entire childhood.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I was born in 1982, and by 98, I was 16 years old. So you're watching my entire childhood, and without the Chicago Bulls team, I would not have had the vision that I had to become a NBA basketball player, and the vision of Michael Jordan to try to do the things that he did, you know what I mean, and want to become one of the greatest players to play the game. So I give so much credit to the 91 Bulls team, because without them, like I remember being a kid sitting in front of the little 12-inch TV we had, and when they won a championship, I remember saying to myself, like, that's what I want to do. That's the feeling I want to give to my family, the feeling that the Bulls gave to us. So without them, bro, I wouldn't be here. So, man, I'm in heaven every Sunday. I can't wait. I can't wait.
And for everybody a little older, he just said, that's my childhood. And I was like, I was well into my 20s.
No. Well, in 98. In
98, the 98, the Last Dance.
Yeah, he was rolling.
Hey.
That's what makes it.
That's gold.
That's gold.
98. She was a thought in 98, back up for sure.
I was. Listen, I enjoyed my life. And that is the exact advice I gave Ayesha and a young Steph at D. Wright's 25th birthday party.
It all comes out. I'm so done.
You guys, the likelihood of this working out is very low, and you should just break up now and have sex with other people. I use a little bit more adult, but is that not what I told y'all both?
You looked at me and said, how old are you? Okay.
Precisely, because I was a thought.
I apologize on behalf of the Wade family. We are not, that's not who we are anymore.
I wish somebody
I still might give them the same advice. Listen, you guys are unicorns. Like literally, there are very, very few people that I've met who have been consistent. I've known you guys well over a decade, and there's a lot of people who talk about faith, and there's a lot of people who talk about moving the culture forward, but something isn't real somewhere, right? And when people are like, are they really, are they real? And I'm like, yes, they're some of the only people that I've met who've been consistent from the first time I saw them to every time I speak to you guys. And whether that's me and Ayesha texting each other, like just encouragement, randomly, like, girl, keep your head up, you got this. And she, returns the favor. You guys have been consistent. And I wish more people understood that it is possible to be people of faith and also wanting to move the culture forward. Those two things don't have to exist separately. And you guys do a beautiful job of of being exactly who you claim to be. And
Thank
We
you.
appreciate
Cheers.
that. We appreciate that. Yeah.
Cheers. Look at my empty glass.
Yo,
we're on bottle number 2. It's all good.
yo, Steph,
Appreciate y'all.
when this all ends, we gotta get on that golf course, man. I need some.
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. I'm
No
finding you
doubt.
somewhere.
All
Nice
right,
on the
man.
West
Much
Coast.
love to you guys. Thank you.
Thank
for
you
coming on,
guys. This was so much fun.
Not you, Tally.
Team Curry.
First and last meal I might cook this year, so appreciate you.
Highly likely.
Love y'all.
Respect.
All love.
Love you guys. Bye.